Have you ever sat quietly in your room, wondering why some people seem to have it all figured out, career, relationships, happiness, while others, maybe even you, feel like they're stuck in the same loop, year after year? What if I told you the difference between the people who thrive and those who barely survive often boils down to one thing: how much of their life they truly take responsibility for? There's a story Jack Canfield tells that always sticks with me. A man sits on his porch, sipping iced tea, and beside him, his old hound dog is groaning. A passerby asks, "Why's your dog making that noise?" The man replies, "Oh, he's laying on a nail." The stranger blinks and says, "Why doesn't he move?" The man shrugs, "Guess it doesn't hurt enough yet." That's us sometimes, isn't it? We complain about our jobs, our partners, our weight, our lack of progress, but we stay exactly where we are because the pain isn't unbearable yet. The success principles begins here, right at the nail, asking us, "Are you ready to move?" Hello, I am Bharat, and welcome to Audiofybooks, where you will find excellent audio summaries of books in a very easy and interesting way. If you want to learn from new books, do subscribe to the channel. Let's get started with today's book. Jack Canfield doesn't start by giving you a magical strategy or a 10-step plan. No, he starts by slapping us awake with the cold truth. If you want to change your life, take 100% responsibility for it. That includes your finances, your relationships, your health, your habits, and yes, even your attitude. You see, most of us love pointing fingers. We say, "I'd be happier if my boss was nicer," or "I'd be healthier if my schedule wasn't so crazy." Jack's principle is simple but powerful. The moment you take full ownership, you unlock the ability to change anything. One of the most transformative exercises he suggests is to write down every area of your life where you're not satisfied and then ask yourself, how did I contribute to this? That's not about blaming yourself. It's about reclaiming your power. When you realize you're the one steering the ship, you're no longer at the mercy of waves. Next comes clarity. Jack tells us that vague goals create vague results. It's like trying to hit a target blindfolded. "I want to be successful" isn't enough. What does success look like to you? Is it a 6-figure business? Writing a novel? Traveling the world? Once you know the destination, you can chart the path. He shares a practice I absolutely love: visualizing your perfect life as if it's already happened. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and imagine it in detail. Where you live, what you do, who you spend time with, even the scents and sounds. Do it daily, and it starts rewiring your brain to believe it's possible. But don't get me wrong, this isn't about wishful thinking. Jack's a huge believer in action, and not just any action, inspired, consistent action. He says, "You can't hire someone to do your push-ups for you." That's a line that hit me hard. It's true. You can consume all the motivation in the world, but unless you start taking daily steps, calling that prospect, waking up earlier, finishing that draft, you'll stay where you are. He introduces the rule of 5. Every day, do 5 specific things that move you closer to your goal. It could be as small as sending an email or reading a chapter. But when done daily, these actions snowball into big results. One powerful example he shares is how Chicken Soup for the Soul was rejected by over 140 publishers. That would have crushed most people. But Jack and his co-author, Mark Victor Hansen, kept going. Why? Because they knew rejection wasn't a stop sign. It was feedback. They didn't see failure as an end, just part of the process. This is another core principle. Reject rejection. If something doesn't work, tweak the approach, but never the goal. And that leads to another lesson I think every entrepreneur or dreamer needs tattooed somewhere. Fail forward. Every setback contains the seeds of a comeback. Jack encourages us to treat failure as data. What can I learn? What needs to change? How do I adapt? It's like how GPS reroutes you when you take a wrong turn. It doesn't scream at you or give up. It simply says, recalculating. But the journey isn't just about doing. It's also about being. Jack emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. He calls it the power of the mastermind. Ever notice how your energy shifts depending on who you're around? That's no accident. If your friends drain you or constantly mock your dreams, it's going to be 10 times harder to grow. Jack suggests finding or forming a group of like-minded people who uplift and challenge you. Think of it like an emotional gym. Your growth accelerates when you're training with others who push you to level up. And speaking of leveling up, let's talk about habits. The small daily routines you follow without even thinking. Jack stresses how success isn't usually about one giant leap. It's the accumulation of tiny wins. Wake up early. Read 10 pages. Track your expenses. Practice gratitude. These aren't revolutionary on their own, but together they build unstoppable momentum. He even breaks down how to reprogram your subconscious using affirmations and visualization. Because the mind, once stretched by new beliefs, never returns to its old shape. A standout principle is act as if. This doesn't mean pretending you're rich or faking it till you make it. It means showing up in alignment with the version of you who already achieved that goal. Want to be a successful author? Write daily. Speak like a professional. Dress for the role. Want to be healthier? Make choices like someone who respects their body. It's about congruence. Your identity must match your intention. One of the more emotional parts of the book is when Jack talks about forgiveness, letting go of past wounds, especially those we've been carrying for years. He shares a powerful truth. Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Whether it's a parent, a partner, or a former friend, forgiveness isn't for them. It's for you. It frees your mental bandwidth and opens the door to peace. As the book progresses, Jack goes deeper into strategies like goal setting, time management, and feedback systems. But what ties everything together is this. Your success is not an accident. It's a result of clarity, responsibility, habits, and the people you choose to walk with. The beauty of the success principles is how practical it is. It doesn't require money, privilege, or luck to apply. Just intention, just a choice. Every morning you wake up, you decide, do I stay on this nail or do I move? And if you've listened this far, I believe you're ready to mem. Because deep down, you know your life was meant for more than just getting by. You were meant to grow, to lead, to love, to live boldly. And that begins when you stop waiting for permission and start creating your own permission slip. So today, start small. Take that first step. Write that goal. Forgive that person. Wake up earlier. Say no to distractions. Say yes to the bigger version of yourself that's been quietly waiting behind fear. Because your success story? It's already written. All that's left is for you to live it.